Whilst things may be going rather swimmingly for Barcelona on the field because they look set to actually be crowned La Liga champions come the end of this particular season, there had been a major storm brewing off it where they were in fact accused of bribing a referee through making payments to a company that one actually owned. Now, Barcelona have always maintained their innocence, even as in fact the case ended up going to court, and it was basically a criminal investigation to find out if they had in fact been bribing referees to actually ensure that results were favorable. However, Barca president Joan Laporta has in fact come out and in a rather scathing press conference that lasted about 2 odd hours, was broadcast live on FC Barcelona's official channels. He's given plenty of proof to not only show that they weren't in fact involved in any wrongdoing, and we'll get to that in this video, but also he's chosen to take a few pot shots at Real Madrid, who, it is worth noting, had in fact supported criminal investigations being opened into this particular case because they felt that it was very suspicious that Barcelona were paying an active referee for consultancy work. Now, what exactly did Laporta say? What proof did he provide to show that the work that the referee provided for them was in fact actual work, and how's the reaction to all of this been? Well, that's what we're going to be covering in this particular video. First, let's go over some of the more interesting things that Laporta said, and believe you me, there were a lot of things. 2 hours and 5 minutes approximately is how long he went on for. It was a very lengthy press conference, and a lot of it wasn't really spent fielding too many questions. It was just him getting a lot of things off his chest. First off, he addressed, the corruption charge and why he feels it's baseless, because what he says is, why people can't say that Barcelona influenced games? Because it's not true and they can't prove it. We will prosecute all those who have tried to tarnish our image. Those are his words, very big words, and in fact, he later on did say that they have even been filing lawsuits against people who they felt were spreading rumors. So quite clearly, he's not actually, intent on backing down. And when he says that we're going to be prosecuting those, he kind of means it. What's more, he did in fact talk about the payments made to the referee's company, and he said that all of the contents of these reports is purely technical referee advice. We will take these people to court, once again bringing up that threat. For example, match notes for the 2014-15 season. This is, by the way, he said this when he was in fact holding up one of those reports, and let me just show you a picture which is out there, it's doing the rounds. This is the picture where he's talking about, the reports. And in fact, he had not just many of these reports in paper form, but he also had some in CD form, which showed, the kind of reports that the referee's company was in fact doing for Barcelona. So, whilst others were saying, provide the evidence that it was in fact just, let's say, consultancy work, Laporta came out in this particular press conference and did in fact show that this really was, there were reports of the sort that existed. Why this is such a big deal? Well, that's because there were many people even within Barcelona who claimed that they didn't know whether or not these reports, which were supposedly being paid for by Barcelona, actually existed. However, Laporta did show many times that, well, these reports actually do exist. So that's in itself a big plus in that regard. And he also chose this time to take a few pot shots at Real Madrid, their rather bitter rivals. This is what he said. He said, Real Madrid has been favored by referee decisions in the past and at present. It has been considered the team of the regime. For 70 years, most of the presidents of the referee committees have been former Madrid members or former directors. Oof. What's more is he even said that relations between the clubs right now are at an all-time low. He also added that even though Barcelona are still supporting the formation of a super league, which is of course makes them one of 3 clubs alongside Real Madrid and Juventus, he's saying that we're not doing this for Juventus or Real Madrid, we're doing it because it suits our own interests. So making those battle lines very clear when he says that, look, we're not really in cahoots, let's say, with Real Madrid. We're involved in the Super League because we want to be. Real have nothing to do with it. And in fact, what he's done here is draw those battle lines very clearly, wherein he said that, look, we really don't want to be involved with Real Madrid like that. In fact, we think that they are a club that have been favored far more than what we have. And in many ways, you understand where it is coming from. Barcelona faced a lot of oppression from the General Franco dictatorship, and Franco did in fact use Real Madrid to kind of further their propaganda. So that's the link in case any of you didn't know. But what this has done, and obviously such sniping from the president of the club is of course going to be eliciting some reactions. We picked out a few, and there's obviously reactions on both ends of the spectrum. Real Madrid fans, well, some of them are saying that Real Madrid has to take Laporta to court for defaming the club's history in this way without evidence and based on speculation. Another Real Madrid fan says that instead of defending his club, Laporta is crying over Real Madrid. Unhealthy obsession, LOL. These weren't the only reactions. Another one from Real Madrid fan says Laporta is asking for a presumption of innocence in the Negreria case, but did not think twice about accusing Real Madrid of favoritism. Reminder that before this case, Barca was responsible for the two biggest robberies in sports history, Chelsea and PSG. Now the references that are being made here, of course, is the Chelsea semi-final in 2008-9, as well as, of course, PSG's that comeback, which is, of course, referred to as La Remontada by Barcelona fans. These are what they're terming the biggest robberies. However, it isn't just one-sided traffic. Even Barcelona fans have been speaking up very clearly in favor of what Laporta has done. Like one fan says, Laporta dragging Real Madrid with his full chest, my president, with a few fire emojis. So clearly you can see that, Laporta's plan to create a siege mentality of sorts has worked. Another fan very clearly put out saying that when Madrid judged us with no proof, y'all were screaming, and now Joan Laporta is dropping receipts and you're saying otherwise, which in a way makes sense, because whilst the allegations against Barcelona were grave, they were just that, allegations. Now Laporta has come out and provided concrete proof saying, look, this was indeed just let's say consultancy work. And even though I agree that paying a referee money like that, it's just not a good look, regardless of whether or not it's legal, fair, whatever it is you want to call it, it's not a good look. Barca at least can say that, look, we have proof that we didn't really do anything wrong, but they're not going to be saying it in that way, because as I said, Laporta has been firing all guns blazing. It was a fiery press conference, but the message remained the same. Barcelona are innocent. We will not be back down, and we'll also be prosecuting a lot of people. So interesting take to say, but of course it also remains to be seen how it is that things turn out when this case goes to court, because whilst he does have proof, again, courts might end up uncovering something else. You don't really know. If you're a Barca fan, you're hoping that this is pretty much the end of the matter and that even the courts kind of exonerate them. That would be best for all involved. But again, as I said, strange things have happened when such matters go to court. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Last but not least, don't forget to download the AajTak app. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos that we've done. But for now, from my side, goodbye.